Using Google Forms, you can create high quality research forms that you can use inside of either your workplace or with your business. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this. To get to Google Forms, you can either start here on Google and click on the, I like to call them the circles in a square formation. And you can go here to Forms, and you can click on Google Forms. You can also get to this inside of your email if you are a Gmail user. Inside of Gmail, you just go here, you click on the same thing, the circle that forms into a square, and you scroll down and go to Forms. Okay, for the example of this video, I'm just going to start here directly and click on Forms. We're going to scroll down. As you can see, Google has a full suite of different apps and things that you can use. And what you want to do is start a blank form. As you can see, I have several. So once you start a form, you are going to go ahead and title the form whatever you'd like to title it. We are going to use this form as though we are doing intake and maybe a survey about my services, and I own a cookie shop, a bakery, right? So let's just call this Jessica's. Let's go with cupcakes. Jessica's Cupcakes. All right. And you can title it, like I said, whatever you want. You have 3 different tabs here. You have your questions, your responses, and then your settings. And we'll be going through each of those in just a moment. Now, you want to go ahead and pick your first question. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and utilize ChatGPT to do this, or Claude. Since I have Claude open, we'll go ahead and utilize Claude. Let me just go ahead and open up a brand new chat here. And what I'll say is give, Run away for it. And what I'll say here is give me 3 questions to ask on a survey for a cupcake shop, right? Depending on what type of survey, right? We want it to be customer satisfaction. If we want it to be, employee, right? If we want to go ahead and evaluate, what have you, it went ahead and pulled up some things for me. So let's go ahead and go with this. How often do you purchase cupcakes or baked goods? So we're going to go ahead and copy this question, head back on over. We're going to place the question here. And as you can see, you can just literally take it, copy and paste it, and place it in there. Now that we have the question, what's really great now with all of the advancement in technology and AI, you used to have to come in here and select multiple choice. It will kind of read the question and see, oh, this question must be multiple choice, and give it to you. If they feel like it's more of a short form or a short answer or a paragraph, it'll pick that as well. So you have a couple of different options in the way that you can set up the actual question. Well, first, you can have a short answer, right? This can be a short answer if you want them to type out something. It can be a paragraph if you want them to type out something a bit longer. I'll just show you what the short answer looks like. A multiple choice if you have multiple choice. We have also a checkbox. We have drop if you want the options to drop down and where they can select and kind of roll it over. Also, we have in file upload if you want them to upload a picture or upload a logo, so on and so forth. You can do that. Linear and rating. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick with the multiple choice, and we're just going to go ahead and hop back on over to Claude, and then we have daily, weekly, monthly. So we're just going to go with those. I'm just going to, for ease of use here, copy all of that and place it in here. Daily, weekly, and monthly. Oops, I didn't check it. Hold on. All right. And then we'll, of course, just remove the extra points that we have here. And now we're all set. We have all of our options. Now, what you can do is also make this either required or not required. I'm going to go ahead and make it required because I actually do want to know how many times a week they purchase baked goods, right? So we'll go ahead and leave that required. There's also a way for you to add a description down here if you wanted a description underneath, like if you wanted to say, if you only eat chocolate chip cookies on Mondays, select daily or something like that. We can place in a description. We can also go in here and go to section based answer. That means that depending on what they chose, it will skip to the next question. So let's say they went ahead, they placed in that they go weekly, and then we would have another question that we put down here that we can have them go directly to. So there's a way that you can actually have your form go to different questions depending on the user's response. So let's go ahead and finish this up. I don't want to do any of the selections here. We're just going to go ahead and unselect that and keep it normal. And then we're going to go ahead and add our second question. We'll hop back on over to Claude and let's go with what new flavor, because I like that question. And this is an open-ended response. It actually tells me here it's an open-ended response. So let's go ahead and pop this into Google Forms and see what it does. Okay, I want to see if it actually went ahead and changed it. Yep, see how that changed? I wanted to show you that. So it read that it was an open-ended question and it went ahead and changed it to paragraph for me. So it takes care of a lot of things for you. You don't necessarily have to know exactly, how or what you want it to do. It will kind of give you a prompt and tell you, oh, this sounds like an open-ended question. Let's go ahead and use paragraph here. Now, on the sidebar here, you'll see you have add question, you have import questions. So if you have questions that are on a drive or you have questions that are inside of a Google Sheet, you can import those questions. You can also change your title and description here. So you can go here and add in another question and that will change the title. You can add in an image if you wanted an image here. You can also add video, which is an option I really like, to add in like a YouTube video. I believe it has to be a YouTube video. Yes, it has to be a YouTube link officially if you want to link to a video. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And let's go to the top bar here. We have our responses. So anytime that someone fills out your form, your responses will be linked here. And here in your settings, you have where you can make this a quiz. That's where those options come in, where you can select, like maybe a true or false, and it'll go to the next, a predetermined question depending on the answer of the user. You have your responses. If you want to collect emails, you can go ahead and turn that on as well to where they have to actually log in. So if you've ever tried to fill out a Google form before and you had to log into your Gmail account, this is why, because they have this on. I usually like to keep this off because, folks kind of have a difficult time trying to fill out the form. And if you want to collect email addresses, I'll show you how to do that as well. And then you want to go ahead and make sure that this is on. You do want to allow for the app to let you know whenever someone's filled it out. And then you can limit responses, or you can place this as unlimited. I usually keep it as unlimited. And then you have other form defaults. So let's go ahead and go back to our questions. And if we wanted to get an email, we can go ahead and just add that. And if you just put email in here, it will go ahead and update for you. And usually you can just put short text, but short answer. All right. And you can put your email or user's email, what have you, in this text bar. But that's pretty much it. It's very simple and easy to use. If you say you want to share this form with other team members on your team so that they can edit the form as well, you're just going to go ahead and click on this plus sign and you'll add their email address here, and they will have access to edit the form, not only edit the form, also see the responses coming through on the form as well. Now, if you want to send this to someone so that they can go ahead and fill out the form for you, you're going to go to this link here. Excuse me, they changed that. You're going to go here. You're going to click on publish. You do have to publish the form before you can send it. And then this is your link. You can also shorten the URL here and click on copy. If you'd like to change the design, there's a design customized theme here. You can go ahead and change the header text, the question text. You can place a header here. Let's say I wanted to choose an image and change it. Let's see. Let's go to photos. I don't think I have a cupcake in here. Let's see. Oh, I do. This cupcake's my kids made. So let's go ahead and put that on there. So that's a cupcake that we made one year for Halloween, and we'll see what it'll do. It will go ahead and change and adapt to the image so that it designs around your image, which is pretty cool, I think. And you can also change that here if you don't like that. I probably would do something a little bit more on the light side like this here. But your form is ready to go at this point. All you have to do is just click on, like I said, the link here, and this is how you share the form with anyone that you want to have fill it out. And make sure you go ahead and if you click on here, it'll just retitle for you. So you can always have the title at the top and know which forms go where. My name is Jessica. go by Doll Speaks Digital. I hope this video was helpful and useful to you. Go ahead and leave me a comment of yes if this video was helpful, and I'll see you all in the next video tutorial. Peace.